together, nose to tail, all the way around. Nobody seems to be able to get anything done, though. I'd suggest to you that they're waiting until the last few laps, and then you're really going to see a scramble. We'll be back. Back on Belle Isle, Detroit, nothing has changed anywhere in the order since we left you. They're still right together with Robbie Gordon a second ahead of second place Jimmy Vasser. In 2 weeks on ABC Sports, Hot Rods, Randall Columbus, Ohio, Top Fuel Dragsters, Pro Stocks, and Funny Cars burn rubber at the NHRA Oldsmobile Spring Nationals. And then Sunday, July 16th, the Indy Cars head for Canada. Paul Tracy and the best of IndyCar drivers gather for the Molson Indy Toronto. The best auto racing is right here on ABC Sports. So you've got 1 through 8, all right nose to tail, with Robbie just a few feet advantage on the rest of the group. And then 9th through about 15th running about the same situation. So 2 groups and everybody running all right together here.
And there's only 12 laps to go. You know, I'm really rather surprised that we haven't seen some serious attempts at some passing. Little Al right there in the red and white car seems to be falling back. Fernandez is running up on him. The guys seem to all have a little bit of problems right here with their handling later in the race.
There's that other group we were talking about with Fittipaldi trying to worry Villeneuve. That actually is 9th. And Danny Sullivan is running in 12th. And Marco Greco also runs in that. DeFerrin, remember he had his problems earlier, is not on the same lap with Danny Sullivan.
The track must be pretty slippery offline, Paul, because the guys in both groups are just not doing any really serious attempts on passing. They're all there. They're all trying hard. Lord only knows that. They're just not trying any serious attempts.
Exactly, because there are very aggressive passers in this mix. Al Unser Jr., your nephew Michael Andretti are both men that will take a chance, absolutely, particularly when they're mired back there in 4th and 5th.
Now, our booth sits right up against the wall of the track. That's why we heard that one incident so clearly, because it was right against the wall. When you look offline from the booth here, there's a whole lot of rubber buildup that is just off the line. In fact, the line is only about 1 car wide. And you take a look down beyond it, and there is all kinds of rubber buildup. And of course, Bobby, if you get off on that, you're going sliding.
Oh, it's just like driving on marbles. And another thing, like, for example, Robbie Gordon.
Now look there, see outside?
You can see it if you look to the offline with the cameras there. You can look at all the marbles right there to the right of the screen there. But you see that. And Robbie Gordon, for example, he just sits there and runs as hard as he can run, being careful not to get offline. He ruins the air. Hurts Vasser right behind because Vasser can't run offline. I'm convinced this is the only reason there hasn't been a lot of passing going on.
Yeah, Jimmy Vasser's, though, been able to cut down on Robbie's lead. He's now only an 8/10 lead. Jack Arute, you continue to watch Gordon.
Well, I continue to watch both of them, Paul, and the reason why that it's been able to be cut back down is because Derek Walker has radioed in to Robbie Gordon, go back to 96%. So we've gone from 98 to 96, and then he finished the broadcast with, "You're driving smart, just keep it up." In the meantime, in Chip Ganassi's pit, very little radio contact between Tom Anderson, the chief engineer, and Chip Ganassi's driver, Jimmy Vasser. Instead, they're letting Vasser have his own head out there and run in second place. They continue to insist they, too, have no fuel problems.
The first 6 cars are all running almost identical laps at 103.3 miles an hour. That takes you all the way down through Adrian Fernandez. And you can see Fernandez right at the back here. They continue to stay together. I love it.
Well, Paul, our statistician, Russ Thompson, has just handed me a note. It says of the top 10 in points, 8 are in the top 10 in this race. So all of the players in the year are grouped together right at the front of this race.
All 3 are the first 3 cars Ford power. The next 2, Mercedes power.
The lap leaders so far, Robbie Gordon, 33 laps, Al Jr., 33 laps, and Paul Tracy, 2 laps. This is the first time a race has been held this year so far that Michael Andretti has not led a lap.
And that point for the most laps led has not yet been decided. The way it looks now, maybe not decided until the end of the run. Still an issue. Fuel on Robbie Gordon, fuel on Jimmy Vasser. And everybody else seems to be staying right there, hoping that they'll be out of fuel. We'll come back for the finish with 68 laps complete after this message and a word from your ABC station. Back on Belle Isle in Detroit, the EDS scoring computer shows that 2 seconds covers 1st through 6th. Nothing has changed anywhere in the order for you. They continue to be strung nose to tail. Robbie Gordon from time to time is able to pull a slight advantage, but there it is. That's the only advantage that he has. And second, third, fourth, Vassar, Pruitt, Michael Andretti all right together.
We watch Michael, for example, trying to work the outside of it, seeing if there is a little bit of pavement out there he can get a hold of. Remember, it's all marbles outside of the groove, and especially where they need to pass.
Just a few seconds ago, they came up on the slower car of Hiro Matsushita, and Jack Arute reported that Derek Walker's team anticipated that, went down to make absolutely sure that Hiro was radioed, that the leaders are charging down behind him, and if he could, to please give him room, and that's exactly what he did.
Hiro's pretty good about that. That's that big cement plate right there that you saw that's gray. Not tearing up this year. The track has really stayed good. It's the tires that have been peeling off.
From time to time, Michael Andretti appears to poke his nose out as if he is testing, would you say, Bobby, the area where the marbles are?
Yes, and there's only, yes. You just look at him running offline. He's hunting for a place, any place. He could be faster, but he just can't get by. And Scott Pruitt right ahead of him there. He's not sleeping either. He's been trying to get by Vassar the same way.
So right at 10 miles, 5 laps to go.
Pruitt is a veteran of a great many Trans Am races where you drive defensively like this in single file a lot of the time. So this kind of racing is very familiar to him.
Again, the view down from the Honda Helocam.
They always separate on the straightaways. That's because of the speed. They'll bunch up in the corners. But of course, the corners is where the passing happens if it does.
But Robbie Gordon is starting to pull out a little bit. He's about 1.2 seconds ahead right now.
Battle second, third, fourth. Gordon starts into the corner ahead. There you see him. There you see the advantage.
A couple of years ago when Gordon was a rookie here driving for A.J. Foyt, I asked him what it was like on the track. He said, well, it's like riding a bucking bronco. I'm completely out of control out there. I said, well, what do you do to bring the car back under control? Well, he said, oh, I just hang on tighter. Never occurred to him to slow up, and I don't think it does now either.
He's in great physical shape. Of course, all these guys are at the front of the field. Michael continues to turn in a little bit earlier on some of the sweepers.
The fitness is an issue with a track rough like this and a long, demanding race, you bet.
I think Michael's also kind of hoping that those guys up in front of him there, Scott Pruitt and Vassar, will get into a little bit of a dogfight, get into a wreck themselves, or get a little confrontation and let him benefit from it.
But I don't think it's going to happen. Do you, Bobby?
It certainly doesn't look like it, Tim.
It seems incredible, given the excitement of a few laps ago, how close they were, that no one has been able to make a move at all. And the only explanation is the narrowness of the groove, because if you try to pull out to pass somebody, you're just going to find yourself on pavement, which isn't going to offer any grip.
Well, they're all afraid of that because the whole train would go by. We saw 8 positions right in.
Whoa! What did we see there? I thought I saw something lift off.
You can look at the road. You see the cameras go by some of the turns. You can see all the rubber laying out there. This is exactly what's happening, or what's happened to the track that makes it just a one groove, hard to pass.
So as we watch the front of the field, no change there. The question is the current points leader, Jacques Villeneuve, who sits back in the field, running currently in 9th place. And he is losing points by remaining back in this position. In fact, right now he's going to allow a closure of 13 points, or nearly half the advantage that he had coming into this race. More than half the advantage.
And if we look ahead to the next few races, which are road races, is this a hint of things to come? Robbie Gordon on the pole, Robbie Gordon leading this race with just a few laps to go. Jacques Villeneuve, who you see here in the blue and white car, maybe not so sharp on road races. He won Miami earlier in the year, so it's hard to believe that this isn't just an anomaly. But maybe it is a sign of things to come.
Now, he's a good road racer, no question about it. Getting a setup right on this track is a very difficult thing to do.
Riding Robbie Gordon, 3 laps to go, still no change at the front of the order. Oh, what a great race this is.
Robbie Gordon, who had, as I said earlier, a crash each of the 3 days that we've been here, is now absolutely precise and perfect when it counts the most. What a performance. 26 years old. Orange, California.
5 caution periods have the race average at 83 miles an hour, according to the EDS computer. Race record held by Paul Tracy from last year at 86.245 miles an hour. So those 5 caution periods really haven't had that much of an effect on the overall race record. White flag should be coming out next time by. Decision time for all these guys at the front of the order. Can Robbie Gordon hold on? Still the question of fuel for the first 2 cars.
Gordon is protected by that cushion of 1.5 seconds from Vassar. Vassar can't make a move on him from back there. He's too far back. It would have to be a fuel issue or a mistake by Gordon.
They're all trying hard. There's just not much they can do with each other.
Boy, I've never seen them so equally matched. The first 7 now running all right at 103 miles an hour as the white flag indicating 1 more lap to go comes out for that group, 1st through 6th. Fernandez sits in 6th. Gordon at the front of the order. 2nd, 3rd, 4th going through. 5th and 6th are Bilal and Fernandez just behind.
Remember 2 hours ago when this race started, Gordon starting from the pole, beginning to fall back, to be picked off by one car after another. How he has now dialed the setup in at just the right moment. Now he's the fastest.
If they can, where will they make their move? Vassar trying to hold off Pruitt. Michael Andretti sitting there waiting, looking for his opening. Again, comes a little bit offline. Robbie Gordon making the final set of turns now. And Scott Pruitt climbing right on the back end of Vassar. Michael Andretti closing on Pruitt.
If the pressure doesn't get to them, they just won't make any mistakes.
A final shot down Sunset.
Oh, Michael sliding out. Here he comes. No, looking, no.
Again, he took a look, decided on the same line in through the corner. Here comes Robbie Gordon. Checkered flag lies just ahead. Will anybody else make a move? They make that final bend. And the checkered flag for Robbie Gordon. Vassar is 2nd. Pruitt is 3rd. Michael Andretti is 4th. Alonso Jr. comes across in 5th. And Adrian Fernandez finishes in 6th. 1st through 6th, right through the order. And now Robbie Gordon has managed to split his wins. 1 on an oval, 1 on a road course. I told you he'd be a guy to watch. Walker Racing, boy, they're happy with that one. I don't think Ganassi is really unhappy with that 2nd place. What a great run for Jimmy.
How about Adrian Fernandez? He really did a good job today. Kept his nose out of trouble, and it was competitive. Worked it hard.
Boy, they all did. What a tremendous run. Jack Arute.
Well, Derek Walker accepting the congratulations of your entire crew.
Well,
how close was the call on the fuel, Derek?
Well, it was damn close. We were right on the limit, and that's what a good team does. We did the calculations, and it worked out perfect.
Now, early on in the race, the car dropped off. What was Robbie telling you?
He was pushing real bad, and we did some adjustments in the stop, but it wasn't quite fast enough, so it was really a fuel run at the end, and he did the best he could.
Well, let's go to victory lane.
Thanks.
So as Derek Walker heads off to celebrate to join his driver, Robbie Gordon, who has scored the 3rd win for Walker Racing, and Robbie Gordon's 2nd. First pole-to-pole win since Tracy at Laguna Seca last year. We'll be back and talk with the competitors and our winner, Robbie Gordon. Robbie Gordon has taken the ITT Automotive Detroit Grand Prix with Jack Arute.
Well, Robbie Gordon getting the congratulations of his crew. Robbie, tell us, though, what was wrong with the car to begin with? Your car owner, Derek Walker, said it had a real bad push.
Well, the deal was Goodyear had an option tire, which was a little harder, and we knew about 10 laps in the race we were going to be big trouble, and that's exactly what we were in. I mean, they were going by me like I was standing still, and you know, I just got to give credit to Derek and the whole crew. These guys just did a great job, including Ron, the guy that did the fuel. I mean, he just did a number on it today.
Let's talk about the fuel for a second.